everybody, welcome back again to Noob Airsoft. Today we're going to talk about these little fruity, spicy numbers, LiPo batteries. Now they come in all different shapes and sizes and blah, 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 but they're pretty much all nowadays going to be LiPo batteries in most of the riffs that we use. These little things can be very spicy meatballs. You do not want to go messing about with these. If you see one or you have one, and the cells have started to bulge ever so slightly, get rid of it. Dispose of it in the recycling centre. They will have a space for batteries like this. Let them deal with it. You know, they're the professionals. Don't go messing about with it. Don't use it. Don't charge it. Don't do anything with it. Get rid of it and replace it. I personally have several of these spare in my box just because they do go sometimes. If you have one that will not charge, you're using a very basic charger like these. These are, I believe, these are one of the better basic chargers. They're all pretty much the same thing, to be honest. I buy these ones from my local tactical shop, and I think it's like 18, 19 quid, something like that. I haven't had a battery go on these at all. They've got quite a bit of protection in them, stop things from going, and although it's a double-edged sword where if I've got a battery that's slightly weak, I've used it a bit too much and run it right down to nothing, this won't recharge it. But if you're using your batteries properly, you don't let them get completely dead and so on and so forth, these are brilliant. They will recharge it nice and slow, which extends the life of these things, keeps them cool, keeps them safe, and everything else. But yeah, these are pretty good. You do have these ones, which are once again, these are not expensive. These are only about 30. I think about £32 for this on eBay, but they're a little bit more complex. You can adjust the charging rate and how much power you put into it at a time, and you know how many cells you want to charge at a particular time, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's got balancers and all sorts built into it and everything else. So these are good, but these are a little bit more complicated. And to be honest, for a noob like myself, these are easy. You just plug and play. So when you are charging your batteries, you should use one of these. Now, this is a LiPo Guard safety bag. All it does, it is very simple. It is just a fireproof bag, nothing special. You put your battery in there, you drop it in, keep the tabs out to the side, the cables out to the side, close that up. Now, that's safe. You can charge that, and it's safe. I wouldn't leave any battery unattended, especially LiPos, because if they're going to explode or burst into flame, they will do it when they're charging. So you just plug these in, let it charge. The bag will, it does breathe a little bit, so you'll get some air in there. These do vent a little bit. You can smell them sometimes when they're charging. I do anyway. Some people say they can't, but I do. But yeah, charge it nice and slow, charge it nice and safe. Keep an eye on them while they're charging. You don't want to be leaving these and going out for the evening and then coming back to find that half your house is missing because one of these has exploded. Yeah, keep an eye on your batteries while you're charging. That's about it, really. I mean, I'm giving you the whole scary thing that these things are, these things will explode. I've had it happen once when I messed up with a battery. I used it to the point where it was red hot on that minigun up there. That's AEG. I was at 11.1. It was going flat out for ages. It was getting nice and hot. I took it straight out, whacked it straight on charge because I needed it for the next game, and it went woof. Yeah, it was my own fault. I had a cheap charger, and yeah, messed up, and that was my fault. And that's like a £30 battery up in flames. So yeah, LiPos can explode. They do explode. I say explode, more burst. They smoke and they smoulder, and then sometimes they burst into flames. Not so much they go bang, but yeah. It's a good idea to always keep an eye on them when you're charging. it is always a good idea to keep them in a bag where it's charging. Do you have to? No. Should you? Yes. So, yeah, I am waffling and ranting on a little bit, so I'll leave it here. But needless to say, keep an eye on them. Use a LiPo bag when you're charging, and stay safe with them. To be honest, guys and girls, just because, yeah, the batteries aren't cheap. Say that one there, they're about, I think they're 18 to £20 these batteries, and this is a two stick or two cell 7.4, which is sort of like the real smallest one you're going to use in an AEG. You'll get smaller ones than that in HPAs because you just have a single little batteries about that big. But yeah, I mean, that's 20 quid. You don't want to lose 20 quid for the sake of just popping around. Um, use the right chargers. Look after them. Charge them when they're cold. Don't charge them when they're red hot like I do. Don't do what I do. I mess up all the time. I'm still learning. Some of the bigger batteries, especially some of the big 11.1s I've got for that, they're even more. They're like 30 quid a battery. I don't want to lose 30 quid. I need three batteries to run that for a day. So yeah, that's a lot of money when you think you potentially lose that for just messing about or not doing something simple like leave it for 10 minutes just to cool down. Put it on the bench where you're getting changed or wherever. Just put it down, leave it, let it cool down, then charge it. Um, yeah, I really am waffling on. I didn't really have a plan for this video. It's just a case of, you know, these are batteries. They do go up in flames. Look after them. Don't mess about with them. Don't bend them. Oh, I've seen people doing that as well. You know, try to squeeze them into the biggest battery they can into this little tiny pistol grip, and they're ramming it in. And it's like, guys, seriously, you're gonna cause a problem. These things arc. They really do. I mean, you cross those terminals together, you're going to get a big old spark coming out of it. They are spicy. You do have to be careful with them. Just treat them with a little bit of respect. You know, at the end of the day, you know, yeah, it's not smart. No, don't do that. Um, yeah, I'm still waffling on. Look after yourself, guys. Enjoy yourself out in the field, especially this time of year. It's just cooling down now. For me, I find this the best time to play because although it's wet and it's muddy and this, I don't care. You know, I did groundworks for years, so I don't mind getting wet and muddy. But it's cool. You know, it's cooling down a little bit. It's getting into single digits sometimes now, so you can run around a bit more and you can play a bit more and yeah, slip and slide in the mud and shoot people and everything is covered in mud and BBs and bruises and it's hilarious. So yeah, um, enjoy yourself, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time. I think next time we're going to talk. We might do a little site visit actually to one of my local sites. Have a little walk around and see some of the playing areas. I may take a couple of risks with me, and we're going to do a little bit of chatting about magazines on site and speak to some people that run that site. And yeah, give you an idea of who you're going to be dealing with and the sort of things that you can expect when you go to Airsoft. May give you a rundown as well about the process of when you go to an Airsoft site, of how you register when you get there and things like that. If you haven't pre-booked or done anything online, a lot of sites still run like a paper-based thing, so you have to go sign a waiver, and then you hand that in, you pay your money, blah 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 blah. But we can run through that with you next time. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon.